It's no secret that Samsung needed to do something big with its new phone to stop the rot that the Galaxy S4 began 2 years ago. We just didn't expect the Galaxy S6 to be this good. You could argue the S6 is a little too similar to the rest of the competition. It looks stunningly like an iPhone at the bottom, for example, but there's the Galaxy S6 Edge for those that want a really unique looking device. The big issues are price and battery life, the former being wincingly high. For the 64GB model, it's more than an iPhone 6. And there's a smaller battery on board than last year, which instantly makes us worry when the screen resolution has been bumped to give us the sharpest display on the market. But Samsung's been at this smartphone game for a while now, so can it justify that high price tag by cramming in loads of amazing technology and make the battery last more than a day? Keep watching this full review to find out. Samsung's gone bold on the design of the Galaxy S6, taking away the usual plastic covering that festooned previous models and finally stepping into the world of metal for its flagships. That's not to say the brand hasn't kept some of the design heritage in there. The front of the phone harks back to the Galaxy S4 days, with a rounded and bland fascia combined with the lozenge home button. The white colour may be the most boring of the range, lacking the jewel-like sheen of the other colours, but it does manage to hide how much of a fingerprint magnet this handset is. In the hand, the Galaxy S6 is a very nice device to hold, with the 5.1-inch screen taking up most of the front. It's compact yet elegant, with a clear feel of premium quality when you're holding it. The back of the phone yields one of the less aesthetically pleasing elements though, with the camera protruding quite significantly from the rear of the Galaxy S6. The reason is obvious, to allow for a higher power optical system, and you'll see in the camera section that this was very much worth it. Samsung has always had brilliant screen technology, and once again that's the case on the Samsung Galaxy S6. The Super AMOLED display offers clear, crisp whites against pure blacks, meaning even dark scenes are shown off perfectly. The 5.1-inch display now packs more pixels than ever before, 1440 by 2560 in fact, which matches the Galaxy Note 4 but with a higher PPI of 577, which means you're looking at the sharpest display on the market. So, combining the pixel count of the Note 4 with a smaller display should yield an exquisite display, right? Sadly, no. That's not to say the screen on the Samsung Galaxy S6 doesn't look brilliant, it really does, but we're not sure the QHD resolution really adds that much to the mix, especially given the higher power drain it commands. Super AMOLED technology can make 1080p screens look phenomenal, and has been for years, and with bigger screens the improved pixel count helps make them look next generation. But at 5.1 inch this seems more gimmick than anything else, as Samsung looks for anything it can throw into a new flagship to grab headlines. The TouchWiz UI on top of Android 5.0.2 is impressive in that it's been upgraded well from last year, which in itself was a big step forward. The look is more refined than before, with larger and flatter icons festooning the home screen, and the amount of menus are reduced too. This time around it's all about refinement, making it really easy to do the things you need without having to slap around 1,000 menus, and the fancy stuff is kept to a minimum as Samsung finally takes note of what people like and focuses on the basics. Saying that though, let's focus on gimmickry for a moment, as the heart rate monitor is still as unnecessary as ever, but it's now less prone to failing at least. It would be great if the S6 could prompt you to take a reading the second you wake up. Without that data to grab your resting heart rate, it all becomes a little moot. It's a much more accurate system though, and you get to see the heart rate displayed visually too, which is really cool. The Smart Manager app lets you track security on the phone, the battery life, storage and RAM usage, all in one place. A quick tap will clean all of these, but it doesn't do a huge amount. For instance, you're only going to need to clean up storage once in a while, with unused app info being deleted, and the RAM usage is still something that we're not sure how it works. It's a nice app to have in one place, and when you do need to have a look through stuff, it's a very good option to have, but we were hoping for more for this idea from Samsung. The Fingerprint Scanner on the Samsung Galaxy S6 is one of the best on the market. We were under the impression that Apple had the monopoly on decent scanners, but the S6 changes things. Like Apple, Samsung employs the single touch way of verifying your print, but after the simple setup, the scanner here is amazingly accurate. A light touch will be enough to open the phone, and it rarely fails. Let's cut to the chase. Battery life on the S6 isn't good enough, and that's hugely frustrating. The reason is simple. The battery pack on the new S6 is smaller than last year, 2550 mAh compared to 2800 mAh. It should last 17 hours on average, but in 2015 we expect phones to be able to last more than a day easily, especially for the prices Samsung is charging for the S6. Samsung has included both standards of wireless charging in the S6 though, which is to be applauded, although it does highlight how frustrating it is that there isn't one unified standard yet. The camera on the Galaxy S6 is simply brilliant. From the instant start to the range of modes to the extraordinary photos, this has the capability to be the phone of choice for even the hobbyist photographer. The really powerful thing here is the ability of the S6 in low light, and yet it's got a 16 megapixel sensor. This is impressive because the more pixels you pack in, the harder it is to get a decent shot in the dark. Samsung needed something big this year, a phone that could reboot its fortunes without completely changing what the company stands for, and it's largely managed to do just that, building on its strengths while smoothing off some of the rough edges from before. It's not perfect, and there are some issues, like battery and price, that still need to be really thought about before purchase, but Samsung has mostly done what it needed to with the S6. This is the best Android phone on the market right now, and well worth thinking about if you're after a really cutting-edge device and can afford it. What do you think of the Samsung Galaxy S6? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech news, reviews, previews and features.